Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. It's that time of the week again where we look at the top 10 decks of the week. We're taking some of these from the recent Snap Fan tournament that went on yesterday. Some from my experience, like the first one is my deck. I've been dominating with it. I won 4 infinite tickets with this deck in a row. Fortunately, I went 14-1 in my last game. I lost the last one. Could have had 5 in a row. That's sad. And then some from other decks from which decks are performing well on like Untapped and sites like that, and decks that other content creators have played and have done well with. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first one, I'm gonna start with my deck. It's just a Dark Hawk list really, but you got Negasonic, the Phoenix Force, and the Iron Legion. So also great for the weekend missions. If you haven't done your weekend missions yet, this deck gets Legion and the Phoenix Force done quite well. Dark Hawk package is really good right now. Solid list. I love this list. It's the favourite list I've ever played. Okay, and then we get on to so the decks. This just won the Snap Fan tournament yesterday. He done well last week in a different tournament, I believe. But this week actually won. I think they made a little change of putting Echo in here, I think. I'm not sure if that was in last week. So it's a She-Hulk High Evo list. You got your magic for your escapes, you got your Moon Girl to get 2 She-Hulks, and you escape, and you have a big Hulk and 2 She-Hulks. You got Cosmo to protect your stuff, Cyclops to control the lane a little bit. Pretty solid list. Armor to protect your 1-drops, of course. Jeff to reach locations you can. Solid list. The reason it just won the tournament yesterday, I believe it went 11-0 with like dominated the Swiss and then dominated the upper bracket as well. Solid list. Next up, we've got a Thanos list. This is the kind of old school Lockjaw. It's got a lot of tech cards, kind of control-y, Lockjaw-y. So you've got your Daredevil and your Professor X stuff. Vision to fly around, Super Scroll for all the ongoing, because whenever Thanos shows his face, Darkhawk gets better because it's a great matchup into it. That's why Darkhawk is everywhere. You'll see, I think, 2, maybe 3 Darkhawk lists in here, different types, showing how flexible the package is. And I believe there's 2 Thanos lists in here as well, because also flexible. But the yin and yang, if Thanos is good, Darkhawk gets good, because you've got extra cards in your deck. So this is just a lockjaw list. So you put your stones in, draw some stuff out. You've got Vision to move around, Magneto to control it, Shang-Chi, Professor X to lock a lane, Jeff to get into that lane if you lock it down. Interesting list. I haven't played a lockjaw Thanos in a while. Next up, this is a Sarah Hawk. I believe this came like 3rd in Snap Fan yesterday. It's kind of a Dark Hawk Sarah list. So you've got like early cards in like Spider Ham and Invisible Woman to hide your Killmonger or your Shang-Chi or your Enchantress behind there for the last turn. You've got the Dark Hawk package, of course, with the Korg, Hawk, Slide, Iron Lad. Sarah with Zabu means that you can play 3 4-drops on the last turn, which is incredibly powerful if you want to. Or you could go 2 4s and a 2 and a 3, should I say. Really flexible. Sarah's just a good card. Can't go wrong with that. Next, we've got kind of a Surfer control. Echo to do with all the ongoing, because Darkhawk's around, Thanos is around. Rogue to steal them, so that you could lure them away. So you've got Goose to lock down a lane. Then you've got Rogue to steal an ongoing. Echo to control another one from ongoing. It's really targeted at the Darkhawk and the Thanos list, because they're running a lot of ongoing. Then you've got Surfer, buff everything up with your Broods and your Killmongers, Cosmo, Maximus. Then you've got a control package in like Shang-Chi. Is really good. Obviously, Goose goes in there. Cosmo's a control type card. It's very easy to lock down lanes. And then you've got Sarah to reduce the cost of everything. Iron Lad, because everything's a good target pretty much, right? What's your worst hit? Rogue. Unless you're aiming for it. Even then, probably not good. I mean, Maximus is kind of a bad one. And then we're going into negative Surfer, another Surfer type list. Negative just showed his face the last couple of weeks. Like, I think it was like the buff to Magic really opened it up the list because you want that extra turn, but you never really wanted to play Magic on 5. It felt Magic on 5 always felt so slow. But getting Magic out on like 3 or 4 Great for negative decks. A little awkward with Legion out right now because you can get rid of the lanes without really giving up too much. Get rid of the limbo, should I say. And then you've got your Rogue to aim for the ongoing, of course. Wong for Ironheart and Surfer, Mystique for Iron Man, or Wong. Pretty decent list. Next up, we'll go back to another Thanos list, which is the ongoing stuff. So you got the Cage to deal with high evolutionary stuff, Cosmo, Shang-Chi for some sort of control, Iron Lad because of a lot of good targets, Professor X and Spider-Man. You've got Psylocke and the Stone, so you can get Professor X out on 4, catch him off guard, lock down a lane. If you don't win that lane, obviously you've got Jeff or Blue Marvel that can buff up those lanes. Claw, even if you Professor X on an awkward lane. Really fun list. Pretty standard ongoing list for Thanos right now. Talking about standard lists, not much to say in here. Basic Destroy, always good, always viable. Pretty basic, straightforward. This is like the Deadpool. You could go down the Nimrod version. I prefer the Nimrod version myself, but the Deadpool one's been doing a little bit better right now because Nimrod's just a little slow. Because you need to ideally you want to Shuri into Nimrod, right? That's 2 turns where you're not really destroying anything. Where you could be Deadpooling and destroying stuff and getting a bigger Deadpool, and then you get the null, and then you get the death, So this is the list I decided to show instead of the Nimrod. Basic Destroy. Still love this variant. Anyways, let's get on to the next deck. Ooh, what's next? Shuri. So the Shuri's been around a little bit. This is the one that I pulled up off Untapped, I believe. Was the one that looked like it was doing the best. So it does have the Phoenix Force in here with the move decks. So it's like a Destroy Shuri Phoenix. You could go for the win con in Red Skull into Taskmaster, or Shuri Red Skull Taskmaster, or you've got your Human Torch, eat it, bring it back, move it around, dance it into armor. You've got your multiple man you could move around as well. Plenty of options. This has got quite a lot of options to win. At the end of the day, you make big stuff, you protect them with armor, win game, right? And lastly, I would have felt pretty harsh on the deck if I didn't bring it up. Stats last week was dominating. It was one of the best performing decks last week. It probably got a little weaker this week because I think switching out Black Bolt and Stature for Legions probably a little bit better in control situations. Unless you have control over the map, it's 1 card combo instead of 2, which means you get to play another card in here, which could be anything you like. You could go Ham, or you could go Silk, which I'd probably go. It just opens it up, anyways. So the list is performing well. It's a good job they nerfed these cards because they were a little strong. They're still good, still playable, still a viable list. Again, another list which is kind of carried by the Darkhawk package. So once Darkhawk's in the meta, it opens up so much. It's crazy how much this card just opens up, right? This package of Darkhawk, Zabu, Korg, Rock Slide, that's the basic stuff. But obviously, because you've got Zabu, you're running Shang-Chi. And then you're probably running, maybe if you got Enchantress or a solid 2-drop like Jeff. The package can range from 4 to 6, 7 cards. And then you put anything else in it. It's just great. The Darkhawk package is probably the best package in the game. Does help that it counts as Thanos, right? Anyways, I've rambled on enough for today's video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you try some of these decks and they win you some conquest or get you infinite if you're infinite yet. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.